The secret to your success isn't much of a secret because your chance of growing your small business is directly correlated to the number of people that you know and the number of people that know, like, and trust you. So that means networking. And it also means making sure you're networking with the right people, the people that can help you grow the business. Well, on today's show, we're talking about how you can change your circle and change your life with Jamar Jones, founder of Foureva Media. And he's a new author, which is pretty exciting. So we'll hear about that. We'll also hear from Rely Local. They've got a fun charity event that will let you break things and curse out loud and raise money for a really good cause. And who's not into breaking things and cursing out loud? I know I am. So we'll give you an opportunity to participate in that. And we have a winner of our summer kickoff contest because if you looked outside, summer has kicked off. So it's time to give away the prizes. Welcome into Small Business Rally Point. This is the official weekly meeting of the small business community live from the small business capital of the U.S., Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, why is it the small business capital? It is because we say it is, damn it, and that's why. So welcome in, one and all. I'm your host, Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. Thank you, of course, to our sponsors, Bank59, Serendipity Labs, and Quick Trip, and of course, the Idea Collective collaboration community for small business owners. Now, this show is interactive, so if you have questions, comments, or sarcastic remarks, they are always welcome inside the chat, and we will work any questions that are legitimate, of course, into our panelists today. And make sure you hang out for the Quick Trip after party. If we have some time after all the interviews, we'll hang around and shoot the breeze and get to know one another and make some new connections. So with that, let's welcome in our guest of honor, Jamar Jones, founder of Foureva Media. Jamar, it's great to finally get you on Small Business Rally Point. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for having me here. I see a lot of friendly faces that I know, and I love watching and seeing their success throughout the past probably year and a half or 2 years. So thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. So we're going to learn about your company, and we're going to learn about your networking strategy and how you change your circle and change your life. But let's not bury the lead here. A book? How exciting.
Yeah.
Tell us about the book. I want to make sure everyone knows about it.
Yeah. So I'm writing a book called Change Your Circle, Change Your Life. And it's coming out on June 30th. And I'm super excited to get this out there. I've been wanting to write a book for probably the past 5 years. I've had the concept in my head for the longest time. And through just networking and talking to a lot of amazing people and dealing with a lot of speakers in that area, I know the power of a book. And I was like, I just need to wait for that perfect time. And that perfect time never showed up. So one day I was just like, okay, I got introduced to a book coach. And then, I was like, maybe it's just like destiny. Maybe I should just, this is the moment that I need to just pull the trigger and just get this out, because what else is really going to force me to do that? So 6 months later, now the book is going to be actually a real thing.
That's incredible. That is so incredible. Congratulations. And I do want to ask a coach kind of question. So when you made the decision to start writing the book, did all of this magical time appear, or did you just find a way to get it done anyway? Right?
No, there was no magical time that appeared. It was just a lot of late nights, from probably 11 to 2 a.m., 3 a.m., just, writing it. Or I shifted my schedule to have book writing sessions. So I had a couple people on my team be able to have a book writing session, because I'm better just off the cusp and just saying it out loud. And then I had somebody, my assistant, actually record the conversation that was there. And then I edited all the material afterwards to actually put it cohesive, and that way it makes sense. So the time did not appear. I just made the time happen and had my book coach right on my neck every single week, like, hey, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? And I didn't want to let her down, so I had to keep it going.
The power of coaches. Way to go, coaches.
Yes.
Score one for us. Okay. I do want to learn more about your theory, and I do want to make sure people learn how to get their hands on the book. But let's talk about your media company. When was it founded? What do you do? Because you do an excellent job of telling us who you are online, but we want to know about the company and how it helps people.
Yeah. So throughout the years, we've gone through a lot of transformations, and it's really just finding my niche in my area of the way that I can really help people. And so in the beginning, I had launched Foureva Productions, which was primarily focused on video. So we did a lot of video work, from conferences, events, from corporate work, a lot of highlight video, social media type content. And then we transformed and said like, hey, we could do more than just video, because we give the video to somebody and then they don't know what to do with it. So then we're like, we actually could probably help with some of the guiding, the strategy, and how to actually market that video and beyond that. So then we got into the marketing side and on the sales side and marketing. So that's when relatable marketing was born, which I know probably a lot of people have heard of that as well. And then, as we were doing that, I was like, I need to I don't want to be boxed in into just this, marketing world. I know that, it's all about communicating with one another and making sure that's in a relatable way. And I wanted room to expand and just get real clear on the message and the brand. And that's where the Foureva Media was born, and where we did the final rebrand, not doing it again. This is the last one. I was tired of saying 15 different companies. So I'm like, it needs to be one solid focus and vision, but doing it for 6 years, actually, in about 7 days, it will be 6 years of business for myself. And now we have a team of 7 people, and it's just been just such a journey. I mean, just constantly growing, working with all different types of companies and individuals, but really finding our niche. And that's just really diving into the strategy, executing on the plan. And that could be within a lot of social media content, but also where are you going when you're doing that? A lot of people they have so many different ideas and they don't know what to do with them, and they don't know how to execute them in the correct way. So that's really where we bring a lot of energy and making relatable content.
I'm not trying to act like I'm completely seen by what you just said. So we're just going to move along real quick, because it's like, oh, hey, I know a guy that's like that. Okay. Well, congrats. You don't stay in business that long unless you're good at knowing people and increasing your circle and, doing a good job networking. So how does changing your circle help with your networking?
It's everything. It's everything, because you got to be able to learn how to adapt and go into different circles. A lot of people that I've noticed, as they're networking, they eventually kind of develop a clique, a good group of people that they get in there, but then they don't ever branch out. So they're only kind of affected by that radius and only by that ripple just within that group. And they just need to also keep on the path that they were going on and keep changing their circle. So it's good to have that good core group, have that be the foundation and people that you can lean on and have accountability, and you love, working with them. But also, how do you branch out and get into other circles and provide value? So ultimately, you're just going to bring everything back to the people that you care most about and be able to say, hey, now I have this connection. Now I can leverage this opportunity. So changing my circle has been really the catalyst of getting me from area to area, because I've just jumped around in all these different unique industries my whole life. And that has been pretty much my unique proposition in my approach on business, because I can now see things from all different angles, different types of circles. And it's not just right into one philosophy. I'm getting from the music side, when I did music for 15 years. From the corporate angle, I worked at a corporate IT job for 8 years, and now starting my own business, having that for 6 years. It's just been such a whirlwind of different things. And I was a basketball coach for 1.5 years. So that was another thing to add to it. But it's just different angles, but it's adapting to the circles and figuring out how you can provide value.
So if I heard you correctly, and I want to play back the tape to make sure I did, but have a networking home base, maybe a small business family around you, a lot like the Idea Collective, and then go out and meet other people. Is that what I heard you say? I think that's exactly what I heard you say.
Yeah, which is pretty great. Much that was it.
All right. Hey, thanks for that. All right. So let's pretend that you have that small business family and you want to go out and meet more people. That can be really intimidating to people, to go to either groups that you don't know or put yourself out there to people that you don't know. So how would you coach someone to kind of get over it and go do it anyway?
Really just diving into the why. It's going back into the reason of why you're doing it in the first place. That's what drives all of us. And I like to ask, these like 4 powerful questions: is where are you trying to go? What's it going to take to get there? And are you willing to pay the price? And then the last question is, why haven't you paid it already? And I think that those are really powerful questions to ask yourself when you're trying to go anywhere of whatever you're trying to do, because you're going to ask yourself that, find the answer, and then go do what you're supposed to do and go into that group. Maybe you feel like, I don't know if I can really fit in this. What am I going to say? As long as you have your why to back up your decisions, you'll find a way.
So do you find that people don't know where they want to go, or they're not willing to pay the price? Which one do you think it is?
They're not willing to pay the price. A lot of people have the idea, everybody wants to be a multimillionaire. They want that easygoing life for the most part, just of like, hey, just work a little bit, but enjoy time, family, just travel and just, live the life, but a lot of people don't want to pay the price of what it actually takes to get there and to make that a sustainable idea and actually a lifestyle. And so the thought of it is great, but then when you got to put the action to it, that's a whole different story.
So let's dig into that a little bit, because one thing that you have in your book is you have some theory and a whole lot of practice. I mean, the book is not just a think piece. It's really kind of a workbook, right? Can you talk about how the book is structured a little bit? Because I want to get into some of those habits maybe that people could take from our interview.
Yeah. The book is really crafted in a way where it's 50% mindset and then 50% action. So that way people can actually get their ideas and the mindset in their head around the concept, and then how do they apply it into their life right now? So like within the next few weeks, what can you actually do to put this to practice? And that is the whole idea of the book, because I want somebody to take that from start to finish and read it and then be able to use as a tool to say, I can actually change my life now. And that's something that is just going to be so rewarding when I hear the actual feedback from the book, because I have a bold statement of like the how-to guide of, how to change anyone's life, which is a very bold statement. But I truly believe if you follow the mindset principles in there and the action, you'll definitely be able to change your life. Like there's just no doubt in my mind that you would not be able to accomplish that.
Well, I look forward to you hearing those stories from people that read the book and then have that life-changing experience. That's going to be really rewarding. I want to go back to changing the circle part, because if you're not really thinking about it, that can sound like find people that are more important or famous or higher status than the people that you're already hanging with. And I don't think that's what you mean. Or is that what you mean?
No, that's not what I mean. But I mean, you want to elevate your game always. You don't want to just stay right at the ground level of where you think that where you perfectly fit in. The moment you start getting comfortable, you got to start changing that. It's just like if you're the smartest person in the room, it's time to get out.
Wrong room.
You got to, you got to go with people that are going to challenge you. And honestly, writing this book, I discovered the key to getting to all your goals of what you're trying to go for, and that's self-awareness. The key is actually opening the door and getting to your goals. That is self-awareness. And a lot of people don't have that unlocked, haven't really searched deep and within themselves and then outwardly to notice it in others and have that self-awareness piece. Because once you love yourself and you're able to be self-aware of what you can do, your strengths, your weaknesses, of what you're afraid of, your confidence level, your overall perspective. There's so many different pieces of it. Once you get a good grasp of that, you really can do whatever you want. It's kind of like you make your own reality at that point, because now you are self-aware enough to allow things in your life and also remove things from your life and really control and take accountability of your life.
I think if we were honest with ourselves, or if we had a mindset coach on here, like perhaps Ariel, who's on the call, I would imagine that our self-awareness of how others see us is probably a lot higher than how we see ourselves. Like we're a lot harder on ourselves and tell us more negative things than anyone ever would, which would then unlock the door for us to get into those rooms that are bigger or higher level. We tell ourselves we can't get in there, but we're welcome in there despite what we think. Am I hearing you right?
That is 100%. 100%. I mean, that most people are not, comfortable in their own skin. And that's just a fact. There's been many studies done by that. And so you have to just take that in account of once you're comfortable and you're like, hey, this is who I am. And that's not going to change. You're able to then start to make decisions a lot differently. And if you can just get your mind to the point where everybody else is seeing you, you could do some good things once you get there. But a lot of people are just trying to strive there because they're so critical of themselves and looking at themselves through a microscope. And when not everybody's doing that, not everybody's analyzing you like that, besides yourself.
And when they see the things that others see in you, the others are curious. They want to get to know you. They want to see what you're all about. And that can pull you into those new rooms. So let's just talk a little pragmatism. Is that the word pragmatism about this? So you're going into a room for the first time, maybe with a new group of people that you don't know. Do you have any tips or tricks for us to try and make a good impact and get something out of that experience?
Yeah, I think that it depends on the room you're going into, right? You gotta analyze and know kind of what you're up against. But right away, you play into your strengths and your characteristics, and you go into those conversations. A lot of times, so if you're just walking into a room, you just, you walk up to a group of people, they're all talking about something, you have no clue what they're talking about, but then you start to pick up pieces that way of the things you can add value to, that you can speak to. So that way, through that conversation, you're not, having that phony mentality, or the imposter syndrome of something. You're just adding what you know. And then you're learning as you're going, and that's where the self-awareness piece comes from, because you have to kind of learn the conversation, see the different type of personality types that you have in the room, and to be able to provide value, your own value, to that conversation, and which they will see that as like, hey, this person's adding a bonus into it. They might not know all the ins and outs of what we're talking about, but they may never figure that out because you're adding your own value, into the conversation. So that's where I would say first, if you're going to insert yourself in, make sure you just align yourself with your value that you can bring, and don't try to overdo it. You don't have to over commit to it and try to make up some stories or make up, that I've done this, or try to figure out like, what are they talking about? But you're kind of like, just blending in, to it, but just focus on you.
Yeah. We got a question. Eric Clark wants to know, how do you go about firing your current circle as you try to ascend? Is that how you should think about it? Are we firing people?
100%. You got to fire them. Now, some people, as I'm talking about this more, it's interesting because people have different like mindsets on the firing thing. But you have to evaluate your current circle, and then as you're evaluating that circle, you have to say who is draining my energy, and then who is giving me back my energy. And the people that are draining your energy, you have to figure out how much energy are they draining. And if it's a big portion, you have to figure out ways to limit and put up barriers, from that person, or you got to fire them. So there's certain people that you just have to let them go, get the eject button, get the eject seat, and they gotta go from your life, because you're the one that's giving them a seat at the round table. So you gotta just hit that button, man. And it's tough. It's tough to do that, but it's time for you as a person to start taking control and stop being the victim mentality of it. You have to be able to say, I'm allowing these people to sit right here. So I have to be willing to take that tough decision and say, this person's not allowed in my circle. And there's a way to do this. I know I was talking to my dad about this, this concept and stuff. And he's like, one thing you said that I didn't like, that you said to me, so I'm ejecting you out of my circle. Something like that. I was like, I'm your son. And he's like, I don't care. I'm changing my circle. It's just, it's just kind of funny, but there's a way to do it. That's why I said to limit and put up barriers and put up those boundaries, so that way you don't allow that to happen. And then eventually you're going to hit that eject button because you're moving forward. You're moving in a positive direction.
That's great. I'm laughing so hard because I could picture an eject button with certain people inside of it. We'll keep that between us about who's inside of it, but that's funny. All right, another question. Ariel wants to know, I hear you point out that energy and opportunity are important aspects for leveling up your circles. Values are another aspect too. How do values play a part in identifying your circles?
That's deep, but that's what she does. That's what she does. Yeah, the values, the morals that somebody really wants to stand for, that's like the core element of it. I have a chapter in the book called 5 Pillars, and that's kind of like your 5 non-negotiables, within different areas of your life. So these are the things. So let's say, for instance, you're trying to have a good relationship with somebody. You may have a non-negotiable of like, I want to have an intellectual conversation with this person. And if I, say something and ideas and I'm motivated, I want to go places. I don't want to just, spill my heart out to somebody and get nothing in return, like, oh, that's nice. Anyways, what's on the TV? It's like you want to get that intellectual conversation back. So that way you're able to bounce ideas and you're able to both grow. So that might be a non-negotiable. So that way, if you're then going out on the dating market, right? And then you may come across somebody and then you already have those pillars that are there, your non-negotiables. So you can see if they can meet it or not. And the other ones, then it's like, okay, maybe I can get into that. Maybe I can learn that. So those values and morals is everything. Set up that foundation of who do you want in your circle and who really needs to be there. And if they're not fitting those non-negotiables, it's time to get out. It's time to get out.
So we're almost out of time. I want to ask you a question in a second about how we get our hands on the book, but I want to ask you if you can maybe think of a time when you lived this out, where you purposely identified a new circle or found a new contact and how it affected the business. Because I want to show people the effect that this can have if they're purposeful about changing their circle to change their life.
Man, I do this all the time. I mean, I would say, especially in business, because business is so wide. There's so many various different approaches you can go into it. So if you're trying to tackle a new market, first of all, it's about doing as much research as you can, but don't over research where you get paralyzed. So you want to be able to still be mobile and be able to act out and and actually practice to what you've learned. So first do the research, and then next it's taking a step in there. And I would say a personal, story with myself is that every industry, even when I was getting into videography, I had dabbled in it. I've been in front of a camera, but I didn't know all the ins and outs, and I didn't go to school for it. I was just learning. I was just a bookworm, learn as much as I could. And then anybody that actually knew how to do it, I was a sponge. I was just soaking up whatever they could teach me on it. And I didn't have this ego, in front of me and saying like, oh, you got to do it this way. And I would just learn as much as I could. And then I started to apply it iteration by iteration, just start to apply it. In each section, you learn, you document and train yourself, and then you go back out there. And you keep doing that as you're going to go deeper and deeper into that circle. And now I'm an expert but there's still tons of stuff to learn about video, and it's constantly changing. But now I'm in a place where it's like, I'm confident, and because experience builds confidence. So now that I'm confident about video, now I can really speak to it, and be able to talk to those circles about video, to really help their business. But in the beginning, that was not the case, and I had to learn it.
takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of confidence to
Yeah.
have the beginner's mind to understand that
Yeah.
I know nothing about this, but that's okay. And I'm going to earn my way there. That's really great to hear. Okay. So I'm so excited for your book. When does it come out? How do we get a copy of it? I just want to know everything. Tell me it all.
Yeah, so the book comes out June 30th, so very shortly, which I'm getting a little nervous of actually getting this thing out there. You can get it on IamJamarJones.com, and it's right on the book tab, and you'll be able to pre-order it there. There's an ebook version on Amazon, and also you can get the physical copy as well. And I'm super, humbled, to just get this out there. And I'm not looking to sell a ton of copies. I just wanted, to complete this step in my life and have this philosophy and share it with others. And if I could use that as an access card to be able to talk about this and change some lives along the way, then that's my purpose. That's enough for me. That's fulfillment.
That's amazing. And if we get a hard copy, will you sign us one? Like, can we get your autograph in person? Will you sign the page for us?
Of course.
All right,
Of
good.
course.
I want to make sure if I get a copy, you're going to sign it for me. It is a great message.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like really excited for you. You got the book done and we're getting it out there. And it's great to have you on the show. I love what you're doing. So thanks for coming on today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you. Really
It's my
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Jamar Jones, founder of Foureva Media. Really glad that we got him on the show. Okay, here's what we've got. We've got more coming up. We're going to talk in just a minute to Brian from Rely Local. But first, I got to tell you a little bit about what's going on. The Idea Collective Retreat for Small Business Owners. Things are getting real, boys and girls. November 5th, 6th, and 7th, we are doing a full-blown retreat to the Grand Geneva Resort in Lake Geneva. Because, why should fancy pants CEOs be the only ones that get to go on a nice long retreat to a 4-star resort? Damn it, we get to as well. So we're bringing small business owners together to gather, grow, and set goals for 22. And we've got two, legit keynote speakers, including one keynote speaker. The number one female keynote in the country is going to be speaking to us like it's real. So save the date. Okay. November 5th, 6th, and 7th. Tickets are going on sale July 7th. That will be the reveal date. And we just dropped into the link, into the chat rather, the link where you can reserve your spot at the announcement on July 7th. It's going to be amazing. So here's what I'm looking for. Here's how you can help. First of all, come to the retreat because it's going to be great. And if you want to come to the reveal so you can grab the lowest price ticket, that would be cool too. But also, I'm looking for folks that want to step up and perhaps present at the retreat. If you've got something to say, you want to be a speaker at the retreat, you want to get in front of a couple of hundred small business owners, reach out now because I'm putting together the agenda. The other thing that I'm looking for are sponsor partners. I'm looking for people that are wanting to get in front of small business owners as a sponsor. And we've had some great traction so far inside our gold and silver level sponsors. But if your business is ready to step up and get in front of this community, we're putting those packages together right now. So the early birds go on sale on July 7th. Many more details and names you've heard of will be announced really soon. So click that link and get in there before we get too far down the tracks. All right, next up on the show, let's welcome in Brian Simmons. He's the owner of Rely Local. Brian, it's great to have you on, and I know that we don't have your camera today, but it's great to hear from you. How you been, my friend?
Well, thanks, Pat. I appreciate being here. I'm doing extremely well. How about yourself?
Doing well. And I'm glad that you can come on because as you normally do, Rely Local is doing something special for the community. Tell us about the fundraiser you're working on.
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks, Pat. So as you know, we're always trying to uplift and plug in wherever we can. And about a month ago, I was reached out to by a good friend and also a managing board member of Paintings for Pediatrics. For those of you that don't know, they are 100% volunteer based. So what's unique about them is that every dime raised actually goes toward a fund. So you don't have to worry about CEOs lining pockets and things like that. And they asked if we could help them out. What they do is they actually support and raise funds for families who are battling childhood cancer. So this was something that was close and personal to me. So we dove in with both feet, and we are organizing an event that's actually coming up July 15th.
And
I
tell
do
us
have,
about it. So where's it going to be? What is it? Is it fun?
I actually have the artwork if I can share the screen.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. 1 second.
And I think actually Brad Hurd is on the board as well. Am I on track with that?
He is. He is. Yes. And for whatever reason,
It's not sharing for you?
it's not coming up. I apologize.
No
I'll go
worries.
look for it.
Yeah,
I
if
know
you can
what we're
find it,
looking for.
JB, and then
Yep.
share the link and I'll pull it up. So
Perfect.
tell us about the event, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've actually partnered up with Andy Wines at his Rage Room in Butler, Wisconsin. We're going to put on a lot of really, really cool events. People can come, like you had stated, and take out their frustrations and break some stuff. And we're also going to have a dunk tank out there, so you get to get somebody wet. And every single dime that we raised is going toward the paintings for pediatrics. So we're going to step higher than that. We're bringing a fundraising tool called the Rewards Program, which gives people the ability to shop in 15 states around the U.S. And they can get special rewards from participating businesses as well. So it's going to be a fun event. There's going to be live music there. Wisconsin Music Ventures has donated 2 artisans to come out and play the venues. So we're excited about that as well. Food, it's going to be full on.
It sounds like a great time. Okay, so we've got the graphic up now, July 15th, 3 to 10 p.m. at the Rage Room. And yeah, Wisconsin Music Ventures, aren't they great to work with, donating music? That's just going to make the event. So
Yes.
Brian, this is a great event. Thank you for this. We'll make sure that we put the Facebook link in the chat so people can sign up. Just give us 2 seconds here about Rely Local, because you're a lot more than just a fundraising arm. You're really collaborating with small businesses. Tell us about what the mission of the group is and how people can get involved if they're interested.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So really at its very core, Rely Local has been designed to really just plug into local economies. It's a very simple equation. You've got the 3 keys, right? You've got your not-profit, you've got your charities, and your small businesses. So we plug in and partner up with those and really just find ways that we can help for them to survive and thrive. That's really the gist of it. And really, the focus is, for my initial part of this, is from Waukesha up to Fond du Lac, both east and west. So it's a lofty goal.
It is. Yeah. Excellent. Well, you're trying to accomplish something big and you're doing good along the way. So congrats on that. And thank you for coming on, and good luck with the event on the 15th. And we appreciate your time. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Pat. Glad
All right.
to be here.
My pleasure. Okay, so we got a few more quick things, and then we're going to float off to the Quick Trip after party, where we can hang out and network and either ask Jamar some more questions or get more details from Brian on his event, or just I don't know, talk about what you did this weekend. It's all about just making great connections. One of the things that we do around here with our partnership with Quick Trip is we do a contest every month, because who doesn't like free stuff? So we give away a $50 Quick Trip gift card and then something else fun. And our theme this past month was the summer kickoff. And we were giving away a $50 gift card to Quick Trip. Yeah. And a $50 gift card to Home Depot. Now, you could go to Home Depot and buy nails and hammers and stuff, but I was thinking like a cooler, and you go to Quick Trip and you fill it. See where I'm going with that? Start the summer off. Our winner, and his name just came up, which, if that wasn't ironic, Brad Herda was our winner. Scores a $50 gift card to Home Depot and to Quick Trip for our summer kickoff contest. So Brad, thanks for entering. We get those gift cards over to you real soon, so you can head over to a Brewers game and fill, I don't know, maybe your cooler with some, I don't know, maybe beer or whatever you like with your gift card. It's yours. Enjoy it. Keep your eyes on all of the Idea Collective pages, because we're going to kick off another contest here soon that will include a $50 gift card from our friends at Quick Trip. One more word before we get out of here. You can get 1 year free inside the Idea Collective community for small business owners, thanks to our partners at Bank 59. If you want to get in and enjoy this community of collaboration and co-working, hit up bank59.com/Idea Collective. And if you're one of their customers, free year in the group. It's pretty sweet. Thanks to Jamar and Brian for coming on today. And of course, Bank 59, Serendipity Labs, and our new partner, Quick Trip. Let's hang out, do some Quick Trip after party networking, shall we? Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you ever miss an episode of the show, hit up our Idea Collective YouTube channel. We put all of our shows up there. I'm Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. See you next time.